The sky above Dreamland did not darken with clouds, but with the clatter of cold, unfeeling steel. Kirby had been sleeping soundly when the ground beneath him began to shudder. He tumbled from his grassy perch, blinking sleepily, only to find the horizon choked by an impossible geometric monstrosity. A gargantuan metallic stalk, thick as a mountain, had erupted from the earth, spiraling up through the clouds. It was the World Tree, but it had been seized, encased in shifting plates of chrome and glowing neon circuits. As the dreamstalk climbed, it dragged the landscape along with it. Houses, forests, and fields were ripped from the soil, hoisted into the stratosphere by the sheer force of the invaders. Kirby didn't hesitate. With a determined puff of his cheeks, he took flight, soaring upward against the howling winds. He passed the floating islands, a world fragmented into layers of lush forest and jagged cliffside. But everywhere he looked, the flora was being strangled by wires. Strange, robotic drones with singular, blinking eyes buzzed through the air like locusts, their pincers gleaming under the sun. He saw her then, Queen Sectonia. She sat enthroned on a dais of gold and glass, her wings shimmering with a jagged, crystalline beauty. She was the architect of this mechanical assimilation, intoxicated by a power that pulsed from the roots of the dreamstalk itself. She saw the world not as a home, but as a garden to be harvested and reordered into cold perfection. Kirby touched down on a platform of polished steel. He felt the vibration in his soles, the heartbeat of a machine that dwarfed his entire planet. He didn't just fight, he adapted. When a squadron of mechanical walkers bore down on him, Kirby inhaled the lead unit, feeling the satisfying pop of transformation. He turned the enemy's own technology against them, swinging a heavy, electrified hammer that sparked with enough voltage to fry the circuitry of the entire battalion. But the real threat lay further up. The invaders weren't just using magic, they were using industry. As Kirby punched through a glass bulkhead, he found a docking bay, and in the center stood a machine that made his heart skip a beat. It was a massive, armored suit, the Robobot Armor. It stood dormant, its visor black, draped in the wires of its captors. Kirby approached the chassis. As he stepped inside, the machine roared to life. A surge of energy raced through the pilot's seat, and suddenly he wasn't just a small pink puffball anymore. He was a titan of steel. His fists became pistons capable of crushing boulders, and his eyes glowed with an amber, analytical light. He moved with the grace of a warrior and the sheer, unstoppable momentum of a locomotive. He crashed through barriers, scanned the weaknesses of the metallic sentinels, and fired volleys of energy that leveled the invaders' defenses. The deeper he climbed, the more the world began to blur between nature and machine. He saw flowers woven with fiber optics and trees blooming with glowing vacuum tubes. The beauty of Dreamland was being rewritten, and Kirby was the only thing capable of hitting the delete key. He reached the summit, where the wind whipped at his star-shaped cape. Sectonia awaited him, her form fusing with the mechanical wires of the stalk. She was no longer just a ruler, she was a god of iron and petal. Kirby raised his armored fists. The Robobot suit hummed, glowing with a prismatic light that reflected the vibrant, living colors of the world he was fighting to save. He didn't need to understand the complex politics of the invaders or the twisted ambitions of the Queen. He only knew one truth: this is home. With a fierce battle cry, the pink warrior charged. The steel of the Robobot armor collided with the crystalline sharp edges of the Queen's domain, and for a moment, the sky over Dreamland shone with the brilliance of a supernova. The machine might be cold, but Kirby's spirit was a furnace.